It's time to go. Reynor is going to be our Zerg player here. SKillous. On the other side is our Protoss. A qualifying matchup. Excited to see how things are going to head as you get this all set up and ready to rumble. We have ourselves a spawn pool coming online, a gateway coming up as well. We get things ready for the first few moments here, see what is going to be happening for a little bit. An idea of where things are going to be going. What kind of a game we're going to get going for ourselves over the next little bit. Links coming up. We do have ourselves that pool first is in action here from Reynor, so an early pool as well. Wants to put a little bit of pressure on. Gonna expand behind this then and get it rolling from there. Little pylon block on the low ground, gonna relocate along the sides from there. We've seen our pro patrolling around on the natural. We do again have those links going across the map, so they will try and do something. Of course, skillers will not expand during this, so definitely a interesting little factor. Going to show up as the first solid is out, and there's going to be a little bit of the micro dance, see what Reynor can make of this. I was going to say those couple of Zelds still chilling there, the few Lings still trying to come across. They're going to try and really, again, get some damage done. If they can actually get the gateway, that's amazing. They get a reasonable surround on one of the Zealots. Decides to disengage from it instead, though, now, and we'll go for a little bit of a different approach instead. We should go back for a wrap around. We've seen the cleanup in the indents. The gateway gets kept alive, and everything else is looking reasonable here. All things considered, looking pretty nice. As we have ourselves the Nexus continuing up, we got ourselves the Intercept, the Probe, all coming through as well. That link speed still coming online also. And the Adept continuing across as we just have ourselves the a couple drones going to get chased away. Queen is going to be continuing to fight again, just going to push this Adept back, and we do have the Zealot there as well, just going to be chilling for a couple of moments. Link speed coming through, the Stargate coming online, our Nexus is about to finish up as well. Link's continuing to chase our probe for a little bit as you just have against Stargate coming online next couple of moments. And those Zealots, Adepts just returned back home, and Reynor, all said and done, did he get enough out of this early? I mean, he's still behind on workers here, doesn't have his third hatchery down just yet. Delayed the Protoss natural, but obviously came at the cost of delaying his own things so much so as well, so definitely an interesting little factor. Speed is about to finish up, the hatchery and a couple more drones coming out. And Queen just going to be coming on through as well, so we continue to get that into play here. We have the couple of Adepts still going for a little bit of this group spread just for the moment. I think still with the speed going to try and stay active. I mean, obviously Skills just wants to try and take a third base, so that's going to become his plan here. Try and get this third base taking, try and go from that point onwards. See what we can do as we have the Twilight Council and the Forge coming down into play. Get both of those set up, still under the Probe, just moving across as well. Still got the Stimulator going to drop down in the natural. Those feelings going to go back on that gateway that was obviously kind of low earlier on. Going to continue to go through that for a little bit here. You have the gateway going down, the Oracle activates, a few of those lings getting chipped away at. A little bit more damage being done there once again. Have ourselves a few links as you move about. A couple of gates coming about as well. Our blink continues through just for the moment. +1 attack also on the way out as we do have the couple of gates coming out. The probes coming through as well. And still continuing through, and we have, of course, with the blink and the +1, a good idea of where SKillous is taking this from the follow-up. Not mind SKillous' position too much right now, honestly. Seems pretty respectable. We get a couple of oracles still moving through. A Cryptumor gets cancelled up at the front. See a couple extra assimilators now as he gets up on the third base. A few Lings are going to come back across over here. They're going to try and take position and jump onto this mineral line. But the defense is honestly pretty good. Reynor is still struggling to really find much progress in these early stages. Now has Stalker starting to poke away on the other side of the map. Oracles to support. The lair is a long way off as well, so that's going to be a factor to consider as well. Block there still coming up. +1 and the blink still coming through. The missiles, Lings, there, and all the rest continues out as well. Let's see how Stalkers still continue to come across the other side. You have Storm on the way with that blink, with that +1. Again, we are waiting for skills. I thought we might get quite aggressive actually, but apparently not quite the case. It's just going to be sitting, kind of getting that blink and +1 finished, and then the Storm coming through. Seems to be the plan. Is couple Stalkers gather up together here. We are going to see those Lings going to continue to wrap around on the Nexus. That will go down immediately. So there we go. Reynor going to slow SKillous down at least a little bit, but honestly don't hate that SKillous just speeding away into the Storm. This is like a pretty nice thing to just get set up into quickly. Having that Storm available straight away is pretty much always going to be a positive. There's again charge coming up as well. +1 missiles and the muscular augments at Hydra speed continues to come in also. As our Lings are going to get through, they're going to wrap around that Zealot into the mineral line as well, going after some probies. Only a couple of moments. Lings continuing around, and we do have... I mean, this is the sort of thing you need to stay on top of his skills. You don't want to let these Lings pose too much trouble. Losing the +2 is a shame, as that Forge goes down. That really is a bit of a miss as the Stalkers continue to try and find a way to fight against these Zerglings. So, again, trying to just fight there for a couple moments. The Ling is going to go back over, pick away at a probe once more. Something else we can work on for a little bit. Well, I mean, again, these Lings are starting to be very, very annoying, so definitely starting to become so much more of a problem. Stalkers continue to fight. A couple of Lings getting picked away at. Hydras, Lings, and Ovies continue to all come about for the moment. So Hydras will go for a couple of these Stalkers. Some damage being done. We're going to see a few extra High Templar warp it in. Hydras will continue to come through as well. And this is the part where SKillous really needs to just find himself the defense. He does have the Storms. The Hydras are splitting very nicely so far, however. So it's looking pretty neat as we do see our Super Battery continue to come up as well. And it's now going to fade away. These Hydras are going to find themselves at least one of the Oracles, another Storm on some of the Hydras, and Reynor still trying to push through. With not really many Storms left, I think SKillous has found himself just about a hold. Didn't have to morph all his High Templar into Archons, so they can already be regenerating energy ready for more Storms in the future. And this is starting to look very good for SKillous because Ling Hydra on its own just is not cutting it. Hydras are just, you know, going to be in a little bit of a troubling spot, honestly. I think that's becoming quite apparent here. As the Stalkers continue back up to the top, High Templars and Archons moving around as well for the moment. Things going to come about. We are going to see Zealots and Archons there to push the Lings away. Stalker's going to go after a couple of Hydras, so damage already being done. And do you have +2 missiles on the way out with all that Ling Hydra coming in, the Extractor coming up as well. Is also going to start to come out here now. On all of this, well, we got ourselves a fleet beacon on the way up, so we're all going to be potentially going into that later game kind of setup, right? If SKillous doesn't feel confident completely attacking, he's just going to go up to 5 bases and then go from there, so that seems to be the plan. Look at Dan is about to finish as well, so we continue our way into this next couple of moments. You see that Stargate still coming through, the fleet beacon is about to finish, the mothership is starting as well, and the +2 attack and +1 armor on the way from SKillous as well, so we continue our way into all of this, you know, make our way through with that. Gonna see our Hydra's joining up on the watchtower on that right hand side. It's gonna be chilling over there. And again, the adrenal glands coming up, +2 missiles and the melee upgrade. Everything for Reynor later in this game is coming online, but he is gonna have to deal with again a carrier-based army. The first carriers are already on their way out, so they are already coming through here. Carriers on the way as a couple of storms go down. Lurkers and Hydra's gonna be taking some damage immediately. The couple of Archons turning around and hitting some Lings. Little Spire on the way through as well, so there is Reynor at least thinking about a way to deal carriers deeper into this game and just hoping the Hydras would be enough, which may be true initially, but again later on definitely would not be the case at all. As our Zealots, Archons continue to come by, I'm just going to see the Lurk is going to fight back and those couple extra Zealots still pushed away here just for the moment. Like his burrow, but you're gonna have to be a little bit careful. We see the Archons, the Stalkers continue to gather together. Another ship up, we can actually use the cloaking to help out here. Whoa, these few Hydras in the corner getting caught though. That ain't so fun. That ain't so pretty at all, as we do see a little bit of action on that one. Having ourselves the couple of Vipers still coming about, the Lurk is coming through, the Spires coming up as well, and a little bit of everything on the way in for the moment. Just going to start knocking down some rocks, opening up this map a little bit further. We are going to go knocking down the set of rocks over here now then. Stalkers, Archons, Zealots joining together, Corruptors and Lings all gathering up as well. Grid team is already going down, and again with robot facilities coming online, the next is coming through, the +2 air weapons on the way up. A little bit of everything is just on the way in for the moment, so we continue to come through for now. Let's have ourselves the unit still pressing forwards, going towards all this group spread. Get that abducted on the mothership. If we can grab that, that would of course be amazing. It is just about going to live. Army's still coming across. That mothership cloaking is going to fade out. As that mothership cloaking fades away, we do have, well, this army still confident to be pushing forwards here. SKillous is not feeling too afraid. I feel like he maybe should be though. There goes the mothership, the Corruptors are nearby. I feel like this army is so vulnerable. I mean, there's not a huge carrier count or anything along those lines, so... Corruptors and Vipers back down to the bottom right, so they keep on moving around a little bit as well here. We'll have ourselves the army. I mean, Reynor is pinned in on 5 bases, right? That is the problem with Hard Lead, that this map doesn't have bases upon bases just to kind of go to forever. So that eventually does become maybe a little bit more of an issue, right? Where you have to kind of take, you know, whichever bases you can get, but that might just be matching the Protoss player. So at some point you have to try and find a whole bunch of efficiency. That ain't necessarily too easily done either. As these Archons, the Zealots continue to come around, we are going to see an Oracle dropping the Stasis Ward down here as well. The Stasis is going to capture a couple of Lings already. As we are going to see some of those Spores taking some hits. And the Stalkers end up just blinking away from those Spores for a couple of moments. Stalkers are there, and they are going to fire it up to hit those Archons a little bit, so the damage should be done there at the very get-go. Lings getting on top of these Stalkers, nice little trade out. At the same time, Stalkers maybe not something you necessarily need a lot of in the army right now, so you'll trade them out for a little bit of something is not a bad thing. It's not the sort of units you're necessarily going to be rebuilding up for the moment. It's just, you know, the Storm coming down. It's a feedback on a Viper as well. Now these purples turn around, going to grab the carrier as well. Nice little catch. Reynor is rich, SKillous is pretty rich as well. These guys have definitely got banks to play with you, but not in any immediate pressure in that regard. There is money at hand. That much is definitely pretty real. The ship actually going to have to try and recall away, but it does get caught. It will go down. Trying to sneak down that right side for the recall into the main play isn't allowed to happen at all. Just going to see our Stalkers. Just going to be blinking on through. A couple of these Spores still taking some hits. Gonna have ourselves again a couple corruptors still coming out. The +2 flyer attack upgrade is coming in as well, so we continue to bring that through for the moment as our +3 armor comes up on the forge. A couple of Tempers continue to move forward. Oracle still up in the skies. Gonna have our carrier firing up, the Archons and Stalkers coming through. Just going to be seeing the Blinding Cloud dropping down. Oh, that's nasty because he walks straight into all of those Lurkers. Great fight for Reynor. What a great spell cast. Blinding Cloud was absolutely the choice right there. That was, in fact, the play. You're still joining over on the right side again. Couple of Mortals, couple of Tempers continuing out. The Mothership's on the way up with +3 air weapons and a shield upgrade coming through as well. Have ourselves the masses of batteries set up on this left-hand side. The SKillous makes a little bit of a campaign over here, a little bit of a setup for a little while. A couple of Tempest shots going to fire through, and those Spores will begin to get taken down. Again, what SKillous is doing is just keeping this 6 base to 6 base. As long as this remains 6 to 6, I think SKillous is generally going to be very happy. His efficiency should be pretty okay against his army. The ship's still chilling. We do have our Neural Parasite on the way. Burrow coming up, +3 melee, +2 Carapace coming up as well. Continue bringing that through just for the moment. That's what the Tempers are great at, but of course you got to be careful of those lurking infestors. The last thing you want is to have those causing you trouble. See how Brood Lords are here. Obviously, if they can push forward, then great. You do have to push into that kind of battery setup, though, so that's going to be a little bit funky. line immediately taking some damage. It's going to be seen. Our Lurk is still here. Obviously, defense is in place. So, I mean, a few units given up here by SKillous, but, I mean, the banks are huge. They can afford to give up a little bit of money here and there. Not the end of the world just yet. And it's still firing away. We are going to be having our few mortals on the way out, so SKillous really prioritizing units that can kind of chunk away on the ground. Obviously, chunk through the lurkers, maybe even an infestor or two should it get too close. Army around that left-hand side, just kill him. We do see the Oracle drop a cheeky little revelation down here. The Overseer will get taken out as well. I just show up on the right side. Reynor, again, just trying to find ways in. Trying to, I imagine, slow down SKillous at least a little bit, because it does feel concerned that SKillous is kind of getting away with another base over here, and his other bases have really just been left in mind throughout this as well. Just continue to fire it up again. A couple tempests coming through. The carrier in the skies. This fight was pretty good for SKillous, but Reynor does have money to rebuild. He just has to consider what he wants to rebuild. Nice storms as these hiders just trying to walk out of there. That's not allowed. The army gets settled up. We are going to see the Archons coming around the Stalkers. And all the rest just continue to fight through for a little bit. This army of SKillous will stand strong, and again, when you're storming up those lings, damage is really adding up. Back around the left side. First game of the day, 23 minutes deep. Reynor and SKillous absolutely showing us a little bit of beauty. Don't start with kind of Reynor opening an early pool and really not getting too much done. Just tuning in. It's actually, sorry, hello, welcome from the sort of raid. I think that was a minute or so ago, but it's our first game of the day, and it's definitely been a little bit of a banger so far. Like I say, it started off with an early pool of Reynor that didn't really do much, gave SKillous a free kind of pathway to the 4-base storm setup, and since then they've kind of just been dueling. Reynor's never really made much of an impact on any of the economy of SKillous. They had a couple Ling run-bys early, but it's been a while since any of that. As you can see, both players have been banked up for a little while. As our Lings will wander into a stasis, the Ultras are still coming around. Tempests are going to come across there as well. The ship chilling with everything else on that left-hand side as well. Those Lings get freed. We are going to be seeing again a few more lurkers coming up. The Corrupt is coming through. Ultras are going to go diving forwards. This is actually one of the times where we're going to see a bit of success on the kind of counterattacks. This base doesn't have a lot of mine left on it. We are going to recall. I assume the idea here is we cloak. That was not really a huge recall or anything. A couple of mortals showing up, but they've not really been hitting the Ultras either. There's one in the front that's going to go down. That was a bit of a gift from SKillous, as still has a little bit more money banked up, but fights like that may help Reynor out. There's the Infestor's going to pop up from underground. Catching a Fungible. There's not really any follow-ups. These Tempests continue to just go huge onto the Broodlords. Now they're going to start targeting down some Infestors, perhaps just something that they're in range of. Finally, the Corruptors show up to be the killers on this. We're finally going to make some progress there. Brutes on the bottom left continue to push through, looking to break this base. As Reynor struggled to mine from the upper right, it's very important that he doesn't really let SKillous mine from the bottom left. Brutes continue to fire through the Nexus, the pylon, all taking shots. So you're going to see the Spores trying to shoot down some observers. We just saw the lack of vision on Infestors previously a bit rough, so a chunk of observers flying around is nice. This game's just getting messy. It's getting very busy. There's a lot going on in a lot of different places right here as the Stalkers continue to come through. The Ultralisk can take a few more chomps, continue to come through those Stalkers. High Templars in the back. Gonna find 1, 2 High Templars with the Broodlords, man. This is crazy on both sides. So yeah, Broodlords continuing to put some work in. We are going to have ourselves the armies of Skillous trying to recover a little bit and regroup. We are starting to lose some of the stack defense as well, so this is definitely becoming a little bit more of a problem. Bruce will fire it up. Battery camp is going to be taking a bunch of damage. Continue to push through there for a little bit. Corruptors. Uh-oh. Going to be coming forwards. The Stalkers blink underneath. They're going to find themselves a couple of Viper kills. That's actually a really nice grab. Those things are really great to see. So yeah, Corruptors and Bruce trying to come back and forth. We're going to storm, try and save this gateway. I mean, Skillous is definitely being pushed back a little bit, but the bottom left base still mining. As long as that base mines... As long as that base mines, I genuinely feel as though we're going to be pretty okay here. As Skillous only just spend it from that location. Reynor is slowly having his bank carved away at. That's a great catch on those Immortals. We finally recall them away, knowing that they need to be saved. That's a massive catch. Couple more Tempests firing through, a couple of Lurkers being shot down. Storms coming in. We'll see in our Corruptors getting pushed back once again. Our Stalkers still going to be chilling out over here. Just going to be making a bit of a play as you do see our Stalkers continue to push forwards. The Ultras being chased around as well. The Ultra heading to that bottom left-hand side. We do have, again, the Ultras, the Dark Shrine, Immortals, sorry, and Dark Shrine coming up. I like the Dark Shrine, something harassment-based. For Skillous, he is still losing infrastructure as he loses out on his natural expansion now, so that's becoming a bit of a problem as well. Things rock over here. At least these Immortals might be able to actually do okay there with the revelation on the Infestors. We are going to work our way through the first Infestor already. Now a second Infestor may be in trouble. Multiple Tempest shots there, actually just finding value, so that adds up. It's done for the moment. So you're seeing the Ob's going to get grabbed. A couple Lings still nibbling. Link showing up. These Zealots are going to come rock around as well. They're going to go and get themselves caught. I mean, again, we look at the banks. Reynor is still getting drained. That top right base is going to be important for him. At least he got rid of the bottom left of Skillous. His income is going to be a little lower now. I mean, still actually mining just as much as Reynor, so it does not feel great, to say the least. Ultras are going to dive in this forward base. Not sure I really want to try and take a Nexus here other than just kind of maybe secure in the position. I feel like that's one of those situations where things definitely could have seemed a little bit better. Well, Skillous still has money, but he's running out, and it does feel like the last few fights, Reynor has been just slowly chipping away, like I say, the infrastructure, and especially getting rid of that bottom left base. Now Reynor has the upper right. That might make the big difference here for the moment. Stalker's Blink. We are going to grab an Infestor there. Another fungal growth coming in for a moment. The Archons will come through. The Infestor's still coming up. The Ultras are going to dive forward. So we're going to see our Tempest continue to fight as well. Ultra's still taking damage. Mortals, Zealots, the Cybercore continues to come through. Corrupt is coming out. Our mothership's still coming up. The Immortal is about to complete, with the Cybercore also going to be here in just a couple of moments, so you just wait for that. There's the Immortal, the Prism, the mothership coming online once more. We're going to have one mega army here from SKillous that's really going to have to try and get the job done. Gets rid of the top right base. He might have to take this base himself now, because the bottom left is going to Reynor. It's firing a few of those Zealots still going down. Back in the center, Ling Ultra continues to move about as well. Ship going to be finishing shortly. This late game army more or less getting reset now. There's still some Tempests chilling out in the middle of the maps. They're going to continue to hang out over there. They're going to continue to be chill for a few moments. Broods and Corruptors continuing in. Stalker Immortal just going to go knocking down this hatchery. We see the drone being chased back. A few more drones pulling out as well. Abductor on the Oracles, you want to get rid of those because obviously getting rid of the Revelations is very nice. That would be great to be able to control. Everything pulling back up the top one more time. A couple of Infestus and Corruptors popping through at the moment. Things continue to move about. We do have ourselves the couple of Infestors and the drones all coming around as well, so we just continue to bring all this up. Back to that upper right hand side. This base contention in the corners has really been the story of this game, really, because that's why both players have taken a lot of fights, positioned the way they have been. At this point, it's going to come down to who has money at the end here, as Reynor is now mining where SKillous is not. SKillous' bank is drained. We're looking at maybe final armies. It's not quite final, because again, the bottom left and top right bases can still come back to life and provide some mining. That is one of the big things here. Alright, Infestors on the ground here. We are going to see some Neros coming up. We're going to storm feedback and all sorts on the Infestors. They started to go down very quickly. I feel like these Ultras just melted. Reynor loses a lot in this fight. It does not feel great. And there's an army in the bottom left. It's the Brood Lords we don't have an answer to down here. We could maybe recall left side with the Tempests. If we recall to the left-hand side, I mean, we're both going to trade a base, so both players are going to succeed in taking the base out of their opponent. And so once again, we kind of level that up. I just think Reynor had a bit of money left in the bank before this, and so his rebuild is looking terrifying. Lings and Ultras are a terrifying combo right now for what SKillous has left over. And now the Corruptors are going to see an opportunity to dive in on the Tempest up over here, so they believe they can just get going. They're going to do exactly that, work their way through a bunch of these Tempests. The drones going to try to run away. And a few more Ultras coming online. The hatchery coming up as well. Things still coming about. That Spore Crawler just going to get taken down as well, so we are going to see the Spore falling and Temple still coming through. GG says SKillous. That is going to be Reynor. Alright, here is Reynor. Here's going to be the blue Zerg top left, while SKillous will be the red Protoss bottom right. Game number 2 of this best of 3. As we get this one up and running, see what will go down here. Alright, guys. Calendar Probe coming up and online. We've got ourselves the Chrono boosting on a Nexus for a couple of moments. Let me just have ourselves an early game setup once again, of course. Wait to see what sort of style these guys are going to be moving in towards for the early stages. So, you know, that's going to open our Stargate again. Obviously, that really is the expectation a lot of the time. That really is the typical idea. Again, Hatch Gas and Pool just coming about. Our Cybercore and our Nexus coming in on the other side. And Queens and Drones all coming up. The Cybercore and the Nexus coming in as well. Nexus continues to come up, and we just have ourselves Chrono Business and Probe. Sorry, just jumped as Ellie decided to go barking. I don't know if you guys heard her in the mic, but decided to make some noise just then. Went full loud mode. Well, a little dead just gonna come shading out to the other side. We have our drone moving about, going to get ready to drop down a third hatch in the next couple of moments. You got that third hatchery placed down straight away. Adept continuing to obviously look around a little bit as well. Stargate coming up. Probes and Adept coming through. The warp gate's coming online. Have ourselves a few queens coming over with the Adept chilling. Well, now. Oracle is producing through, so we see where SKillous is taking this. So a couple of moments at least, that link speed still coming online. The drones and the Overlord coming up as well. Gonna go check on Ali, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, Ali was really having a good go at the window. Just wanted to check she was all good. Apologies for that. As we get ourselves ready to rumble then, so we get back into this and see where we're going to be headed next couple moments. Couple of coming through, so it looks as though we're going to see a little bit of aggression coming up right here. Get that all on the go for the moment. Adept's going to be hanging out there. A couple of oracles do come through. Plenty of lings on the way up as well as Reynor gets ready to try and make this game a much quicker affair than what we saw previously. Ravager's morphing in. Here come the drop lords. Let's see what skills can do. He's on his way to batteries and cannons, but they're not finished just yet. He's dropping down. He's going to be having our Ravagers ready to cross the Val. 4 Oracles makes some extra damage output. Although, actually, there's a 5th Oracle as well. That one kind of came further forwards. It does live. Super Battery goes up. Heroes of Biles, they need to prioritize that super battery. We do get rid of it, but the 2 cannons will help a lot on this defense, and I think this is clean from SKillous. It's going to be a pretty convincing shutdown. Units left over, stack, defense left standing. That was not problematic for him at all. Good defense from SKillous. And he puts himself in a great position here in this game number 2, because that was everything he wanted. We see another drop load coming in. We did drone a little bit here as Reynor, but are we going to go for round 2, or are we just going to try and drop a load our way to get some damage done? More drone startups, so maybe just drop a load to try and create a little bit more harassment for a little bit. Oracles keep moving around. We do have ourselves the Roach Speed coming up. Couple of Queens on the way out. Oracles are still chilling. Back towards the center of the map here. And 7 Roaches, couple Queens, the Roach Speed coming up as well just for the moment as we see ourselves the Robo facility and the extra gates continue to come online. He's going to drop back out of this dropper lord and just going to go back towards the Stalker, which gets caught. So, I mean, the dropper lord is going to find himself a Stalker kill, but honestly, could have been much worse. And that +2 attack is on the way up as well here, as we just have the Roach is still coming about. Again, extra Lings on the way through. The drop lord still coming into play. Roach Speed is about to finish up as well. Just all of that being brought to life. As you drop a StarsWar down with this Oracle over here, and the Ling's going to try and break through over there. I'm going to try and go through the Adept, although not quite going to make it just yet. As our dropper lord's on the move again. So Reynor kind of powered up with a few drones, but is mostly going to be going for just round 2 of this. That is the plan. StarsWar catches a few Lings. The Stalker's still underneath. Stalker's pulling even further back, and a few Lings do get caught in a stasis here. The Queen's dropping down as well. Super Battery, a prime target for an overcharge, although we're just going to see the Roaches right-click it down as they got close enough. Extra Stalkers warp in, having that blink makes these Stalkers trade very well. No +2 just yet as Queen's trying to fight off the Oracles. No battery energy left at all, so this is really any damage taken is going to let kills. As the last Oracle goes down, now it's just these Stalkers, but I mean, if there's ever units to be left with as a pros player, boy is it Stalkers. The micro potential on those is huge. We knock the Robo down though, that being on the 3rd base is costly because now no Immortal production. Queen's in the back still, but I think we're just running out of beef in the front, unfortunately, for now. Looks as though that is going to become a little bit too much here as we get ourselves SKillous pushing Reynor back. And Reynor, despite his best efforts, is not breaking SKillous down here. This is looking very good for SKillous to potentially take us towards Game 3 in our opening matchup today. I'd say that's probably the best match we've got on the docket today in terms of the live matches. I feel like that could be, this is maybe the pinnacle right at the start, but that's okay. Especially as SKillous takes us to Game 3. As we dive into map number 3, Alcyone is the battlefield. We have Reynor, blue Zerg bottom left. Top right, red Protoss is SKillous. We get this all underway, ready to begin. Oh. See, a probe comes across the map. That's going to be our starting point here for a couple of moments. Have a Hedge Gas coming up. Swim Pool will get going in a couple of moments. Have ourselves the gateway again settled here. Nexus drops down. Just going to put that straight onto the natural expansion, so that goes into place straight away. The Nexus coming through, drone hatch, a little bit of everything. Rope comes back over to the main. Delivers a couple of minerals over there, and of course we just again wait for the setup to continue through. How's everyone doing today? I do feel like this match is very cool. I'm actually kind of excited for Spirit Geralt as well, though. What do you guys think? The second match of the day as well, I think, is actually kind of a cool one. Has some potential to be a little bit of a shocker, you know? Interesting, as we do have the Adept Chrono boosting out over here. We have our Ling Speed coming up as well. The Queen still coming through, getting this up and online. So far, so good. And yeah, Stargate is continuing to come into play as well, coming to life here as our Nexus continues up as well. Stargate's still coming up at Warpgate building as well. That Link Speed is still just about halfway done for now. I was just trying to shade about a little bit. Again, that Link Speed is still coming through as well. Really do just have a peaceful opening here compared to some of the previous actions been going down. Queen's gonna come over, a couple of depths are gonna get knocked away at. You got the drones, the Lings, the Queen, but everything continue to come through there. For the moment, as our Oracle is activated, a few Lings will take some damage. More shots just coming out for the moment. And so far, so good. Plenty of Lings on the top. Reynor is still droning, though. He is just looking to put a little bit of pressure on here in these early stages. This feeling is still going about. And Dap, the final one, taking some damage as well. Gonna see ourselves the Oracle activating. The drone gets picked immediately. I see the rest of these oracles still shoved back up to the top side. Another gateway coming through. Forge, gate, Qualifier Council, all of our tech coming online from SKillous. We are going to get set. Every game SKillous has had a pretty good setup so far. I think that's worth mentioning. Game 1, he got into a good spot as well off of failed aggression from his opponent. I do think that that's a something to keep in mind as well. Things coming about. Drones and an OV on the way up as well. We still see that blinking +1 continue to come through. I'll just say a couple of devs actually do succeed in getting rid of some drones, so that's quite nice. That adds up pretty decently. Oracles continue to gather together. Blinking +1 still on the way through. Got a lot of that setting up right now as well. Oracles get back out to the middle of the map here just for a moment. Temple Archive still coming through. The Blinking +1 coming about as well. So we get that Blinking +1 coming on in. Infestation Bit and Hydrogen coming online. Reynor absolutely ready to just tech himself. 6 minutes deep, and we are just teching hard into this next stage of the game. So we are just going to go, and go. Hydrogen still coming through. The +1 missiles coming up. The Overlord is coming in. Once again, SKillous is going to try and get that nice quick storm up and running. He's just trying to get that on the way immediately. Against Stargate coming through again. That Lurker Den's coming online as well. A Hive coming up with the extra Hydras on the way in as well. Continue to bring that through for the moment. And yeah, +1 missiles, Muscular Augments continue to come by just for now. Look at that storm coming through, that charge coming up as well. How's the carrier production beginning? I mean, SKillous really is just going to dive deep into the later stages of this game. He is not messing around. He is ready to see the later stages, absolutely. Things still moving about. The carrier still coming through as well. Scoutlings still making their way about just a little bit. We'll just continue to blink around. The Zealot's coming up also. Carriers continue to produce through. Now, carriers produce on in. Like I said, this game will get to that later stage. Absolutely on our side, you can see this going quite a long time, right? Things I just look, just continue to come about as we just have he's pressing through. Just gonna see that watchtower taken for a moment, allows Reynor to see where that army is at and know a little bit about what is about to happen. Extra carries on the way in. The mothership is coming through, +2 attack and the +1 air weapons. Again, continue to produce here as well. So just a little bit of everything brought up at the moment. Lurkers get position. I mean, this is actually scary for SKillous. This is a moment you need to defend. If these Lurkers are in position, it's so difficult. Gotta be very careful here as the carriers continue to fight through. You see the additional Zealots still coming about. Carriers still on the way up. Storm coming down again. Hydras, Lings, Lurkers trying to push forwards here. Carriers are continuing to push on through as well. The Oracles will still activate, going after these Lurkers for the moment. The Intercept is still just firing up big. I mean, SKillous lost a lot in this process. Obviously, the cleanup here is, you know, eventually there. We see only Hydras to deal with the carriers, so that might keep SKillous in this. You know, doesn't have a huge bank, although 97 drones means he's got a lot of economy on the go at any single point in time. Definitely nice. The ship coming around again, the carriers coming up, +2 attack, +1 fire weapons on the way through. Our Hydras will go knocking at the Nexus, so Nexus already taking some hits. Here come the carriers, but they're just a little bit too late to get here. That Nexus is already on the way down, so Nexus will drop. Extra Zealot showing up, we're going to go in towards those Queens. A bit more damage being dealt there as our mothership activates and is going to go just down some of these Hydras as well. Let's continue to sit and pick off a few more Lings. The Hydras will come through, and a couple of those Zealots get picked away at as well. More of this army from SKillous around the left-hand side. They're going to start hitting the hatchery. Hatchery will start to go down here. We do have ourselves the Spire coming up, the extra Spores coming through. Hydras, Overseers, Lings. Production tab looking good for Reynor as SKillous is on this big push. His one army is looking good. I mean, we kind of need that Spire from Reynor. Get some Corruptors up would help out a lot. Be a big bonus. Just gonna drop our Spores here a little bit. And you push on through. We're now trying to get rid of those Lurkers so we can get the High Templar in position to storm it up a little bit as well. Would be amazing. As you just see again, our Intercept is going to come back over. The Lurkers are going to get hit. 14 Corruptors are going to be Reynor's answer. That's what he believes is the way to save the day on this one. Oh, nice little abduct on the mothership. So the mothership going to get caught there as well. Another couple storms coming through. So just see now it. Look is coming up. Our Corruptor's coming through. +2 air weapons on the way in as well. Scepters firing forwards, but just the Reynor starting to be a little bit more kind of steadfast in his holding, right? It's just a little bit stronger all around, looking a little bit better in that regard. Storm comes through again, just going to see ourselves the Corruptors finding themselves the Prism in the corner. A lot of drones going down. Now the carry's going to get a jump on some of these lurkers, perhaps would be great. Able to work through that straight away. Zealot's still firing away as well, trying to continue to get a bit more damage done. So again, just trying to find as much as possible. We are going to see the jump onto these Corruptors lurkers as well. Storm goes down, going to get rid of a bunch of those lurkers. The abductor on the mothership able to go down. But get rid of these Corruptors, the carriers can start dropping. Reynor's supply overall is rough, especially as he just lost a bunch of drones. He lost a lot of economy during all of this. That doesn't seem to have obviously helped him here, because now you lose the ability to keep on building. And SKillous, can you win this game, guys? You're going to China. This is a qualification match to the offline event. Pretty huge series that we're seeing right now as we have ourselves Corruptors in the sky. They don't really do much of anything. GG is called, and SKillous beats Reynor. Goes to the winner bracket finals, which